Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Uzma Jafri. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 12th of August. Centre and opposition blame each other for ruckus in Indian Parliament. Taliban seizes key Afghan city of Ghazni. US worried Kabul could fall in 90 days. And Sri Lanka indicts 25 suspects in Easter Sunday bombings. And now for all the details. India's ruling Bharatiya Janata Party government on Thursday lashed out at the opposition parties over the ruckus in the parliament on Wednesday, which witnessed opposition lawmakers jostling with marshals. Meanwhile, the opposition parties in a joint statement blamed the government for manhandling of lawmakers and deliberate derailment of the monsoon session of the parliament.
A group of union ministers from the India's ruling Bharatiya Janata Party-led government lashed out at the opposition parties over Wednesday's ruckus in the parliament, putting the blame on the opposition for unruly scenes witnessed during the monsoon session of the parliament. The ministers accused the opposition leaders of jostling and manhandling marshals and alleged that anarchy has always been the opposition's agenda. They demanded the parliament chairman to take strongest possible action against those who broke the rules.
It was pre-decided by the Congress and its friendly party that we should not allow the parliament to function this time, and we should take it forward for a washout. This was their decision.
Earlier in the day, leaders of several opposition parties marched in protest against the government on several issues including Pegasus, farm laws and alleged manhandling of their lawmakers in the parliament. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi said that for the first time in the history of the country, parliamentarians were manhandled and physically beaten and termed the incident as the murder of democracy.
The voice of 60% of this country has been crushed, humiliated, and yesterday in the Rajya Sabha, physically beaten.
The tumultuous monsoon session of the parliament was on Wednesday curtailed by 2 days. During the session, the opposition forced adjournments in both lower and the upper house of the parliament over their demands, including repeal of the 3 farm laws and probe into allegations of surveillance using Pegasus spyware.
Rescuers found the wreckage of a bus on Thursday that was trapped under mud and boulders a day after a landslide hit Kinnaur district of India's northern hilly state of Himachal Pradesh. At least 13 deaths were reported in the incident till the last reports came in, and the toll was likely to rise as rescue operations continued. On Thursday, Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Jairam Thakur also visited the landslide-hit area and met the injured admitted in hospital. In late July, at least 9 people were killed by another landslide in a different part of Kinnaur district, and dozens have been left stranded by landslides and flooding in parts of the country in recent weeks during the ongoing monsoon season. The Taliban have now taken control of the key city of Ghazni, the 10th provincial capital to fall to the militants in less than a week amid a rapidly deteriorating political situation, which reportedly has the United States worried that Kabul may fall to the insurgents in 90 days. Almost a third of the country's 34 provincial capitals are now under Taliban control. Meanwhile, reports surfaced that Afghan government has offered the Taliban a share in power so long as the rising violence in the country comes to a halt.
Taliban fighters captured the city of Ghazni on Thursday, the 10th provincial capital they have seized in a week, as US intelligence said. Afghanistan's capital, Kabul, a few hours' drive away, could fall to the insurgents within 90 days. With the last of the US-led international forces set to leave by the end of August, the Taliban has taken control of about 2/3 of Afghanistan, having mounted an offensive on multiple fronts. Finding rural districts too hard to defend, government forces have withdrawn to protect Kabul and other cities, prompting thousands of families to flee their provinces in hope of finding safety there. Scores of Afghans have fled their homes as Taliban insurgents sweep through the country. Over 400,000 people have been internally displaced, leaving 18 million in need of humanitarian assistance, the United Nations Humanitarian Agency UNICEF said on Wednesday. The speed of the Taliban advance has sparked widespread recriminations over US President Joe Biden's decision to withdraw US troops and leave the Afghan government to fight alone. Meanwhile, amid the Taliban's advances, Afghan government has called on the international community to take note of the war crimes and human rights violations being carried out by the insurgents. Afghanistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs Thursday said the Taliban were carrying out brutal attacks on cities. The matter was raised by the Afghan negotiating team headed by Chairman of the High Council for National Reconciliation Abdullah Abdullah at the extended Trioca meeting held on Wednesday in Doha.
Moving on. Amid large-scale fighting between Afghan forces and Taliban, Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan has said that insurgent group would not talk to the Afghanistan government until Ashraf Ghani remains the country's president. He also accused the United States of seeing Pakistan as useful only in the context of the mess it is leaving behind in Afghanistan after 20 years of fighting.
Taliban leaders have said they will not negotiate with the Afghan government as long as Ashraf Ghani remains president. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan said on Wednesday while interacting with foreign journalists in Islamabad. With peace talks stalled, violence in Afghanistan has escalated sharply as the insurgent group makes rapid territorial gains. A US defense official said on Wednesday that Taliban fighters could take over capital Kabul in 90 days. Khan said a political settlement was looking difficult under current conditions.
The only thing that would stop Afghanistan from descending into anarchy is a political settlement. But unfortunately, the Taliban, when they were here, they felt that they refused to talk to Ashraf Ghani. Their condition is that as long as Ashraf Ghani is there, we are not going to talk to the Afghan government.
Khan also accused the United States of seeing his country as useful only in the context of the mess it is leaving behind in Afghanistan after 20 years of fighting. The United States will pull out its military by August 31, 20 years after toppling the Taliban government in 2001. But as the US leaves, the Taliban today controls more territory than at any point since then. Kabul and several Western governments say Pakistan's support for the insurgent group allowed it to weather the war. Pakistan denies supporting the Taliban.
More on news from Pakistan. The Pakistan Democratic Movement on Wednesday rejected the government's unilateral electoral reforms and results of the recent assembly poll in Pakistan-administered Kashmir, which declared PM Imran Khan's PTI party as victorious. The multi-party opposition alliance announced it will stage a grand rally in Karachi on August 29 against rigging in the election.
PDM, the Pakistan Democratic Movement chief Maulana Fazlur Rahman on Wednesday rejected the government's unilateral electoral reforms and results of the July 25 assembly poll in Pakistan-administered Kashmir, which declared Prime Minister Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party as victorious. The multi-party opposition alliance PDM held a meeting in Islamabad and later announced that it will stage a grand rally in Karachi on August 29 against what they termed as rigging in the Pakistan-administered Kashmir election. Rahman said all opposition parties are opposed to the government's idea of introducing electronic voting machines, terming it a ploy from the ruling Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf to rig next general elections.
हम वाज़ेह कर देना चाहते हैं कि यकतरफ़ा इंतखाबी इस्लाहात या इस हवाले से इक़दामात मुस्तरद किए जाते हैं। 2018 25 जुलाई और 2021 25 जुलाई कश्मीर के इलेक्शन के नताइज ये आम इंतखाबात के नताइज को PDM मुस्तरद कर रही है।
Senior leaders of opposition Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz and Pakistan People's Party had earlier alleged irregularities in the poll process in Pakistan-administered Kashmir. Protests have already continued across the illegally occupied region over the election results.
Moving on to news from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has indicted 25 people in connection with the deadly 2019 Easter Sunday bombings, the President's office said on Wednesday. Over 23,000 charges have been filed under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, including conspiracy to murder, aiding and abetting, collecting arms and ammunition, and attempted murder, reports suggest. The blasts claimed by militant group Islamic State, which targeted 3 churches and 3 luxury hotels, killed at least 270 people. A presidential commission had earlier also recommended the prosecution of dozens of senior government officials and the then President Maithripala Sirisena for criminal negligence despite prior intelligence. The Attorney General's department said that the Chief Justice has been asked to appoint a special High Court bench to hear the cases speedily. Locals and archaeology experts in Nepal have expressed that it is a positive sign for COVID-19 hit tourism sector in the country that the UNESCO has not inscribed World Cultural Heritage Sites in the Kathmandu Valley on its endangered list. The pandemic has badly impacted the crucial tourism sector and has hurt business activity in the Himalayan nation since early last year.
Locals and archaeologists in Nepal have expressed that it is a good sign for COVID-19 hit tourism in the country that the UNESCO has not included World Cultural Heritage Sites in the Kathmandu Valley on its list of World Heritage in Danger. The 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites located within the Kathmandu Valley are namely Pashupatinath Temple, Swayambhunath and Bodhanath Stupas, Kathmandu Darbar Square, Patan Darbar Square and Bhaktapur Darbar Square, and the Changu Narayan Temple. They hold great value in terms of tourism as they provide a glimpse into the Himalayan nation's rich art and culture. A total of 116 of the 170 cultural monuments destroyed in the 2015 Nepal earthquake have been renovated so far. The UNESCO says the listing of a site as World Heritage in Danger allows the conservation community to respond to specific preservation needs in an efficient manner.
उपत्यकालाई यो सेसनबाट खतराका सूचीमा राखेको सन्दर्भमा यसको ब्याड न्यूज जान सक्ने सम्भावना प्रबल रहन्थ्यो र भोलिका दिनमा पनि यो टुरिज्मको डेस्टिनेसनको क्रिएसन र भएका डेस्टिनेसनको पनि संरक्षण व्यवस्थापन गर्ने सन्दर्भमा पनि विभिन्न कोणबाट प्रश्न उठ्ने सम्भावना पनि रहन्थ्यो र यसले यो इन डेन्जरमा नराखेपछि पक्कै पनि टुरिज्म प्रस्पेक्टले
The COVID-19 pandemic has badly impacted the crucial tourism sector in Nepal since early last year, and containment measures which continue to be imposed in Kathmandu Valley have hurt business activity.
An Indian temple library in eastern Bodh Gaya town is housing Hindu and Buddhist manuscripts which are rare and 2,500 years. Hermits say the aim of the library, which was established in the 1900s, was to impart the teachings of these scriptures available to all the sections of the society.
A library in Shankaracharya Temple of India's eastern Bodh Gaya town is housing Hindu and Buddhist manuscripts, which are rare and 2,500 years. The hermits of the temple said they are still digging for the origins of some of the manuscripts. The origin of some are still unknown. According to the hermits, the aim of the library, which was established in the 1900s, was to impart the teachings of these scriptures available to all the sections of the society. The library at the temple also has commentaries from great scholars on all the 4 Vedas, ancient Hindu and yogic text of knowledge and wisdom.
और लाइब्रेरी की स्थापना जो है वो 1867 से लेकर के 1880 के बीच में तत्कालीन महंत हेम नारायण गिरी के द्वारा किया गया है। और ग्रंथों के माध्यम से मुझे ये भी ज्ञात हुआ कि लाइब्रेरी का मुख्य उद्देश्य बौद्ध धर्म और सनातन धर्म में जितने भी प्राचीन ग्रंथ हैं उनका संकलन करना था और इन संकलन को समाज के प्रत्येक वर्ग तक कैसे पहुंचाया जा सके ये प्रयास था।
A book written by the district magistrate in 1922 mentions that the library at Bodh Gaya Monastery was of significant importance as scholars from countries like Britain, the US, Myanmar, Korea and Sri Lanka were members there, said a hermit at the library.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.